If you're watching this video right now, I need you to take a moment to be thankful for how privileged you are. There are kids that were born into poverty and will die there as well. They don't have the luxury of being able to climb their way up and move their way throughout the ranks and have a better life. No matter what they do, they are stuck in that position. Your family might have started off in that same spot, but somebody made that switch in the family, whether they had to move to a new country, learn a new language, work super hard hours at some menial job, but ultimately they were able to provide a life that was good enough to help the next generation. And that's where you come into the picture. Your family members prior to you made so much sacrifice, and you're able to reap the reward of that. You're able to have a life that wasn't possible without their hard work and sacrifice. And now it's up to you to make it worthwhile. I see so many guys just wasting their potential, acting like degenerates, and it's not even like it's just a high school thing or a college thing. As soon as high school is over or once they finish college, they're not making much traction. They're not acting how they should be. Their parents simply cannot be acceptable of this behavior. Even if they don't think it's even if they don't say it to your face, bro, they think you're a loser. They think you're a mess up. You literally are wasting the sacrifice that your ancestors have made for you. You're wasting the sacrifice your parents have made for you. It just isn't going to cut it. You shouldn't be able to live with yourself, man. Think about all the sacrifices that your father had to make for you. Him working extra hours at the office, him figuring out ways to coach you on whatever sports that you played growing up, and him just going to your school events to make sure that the teachers actually thought that your family cared about your grades and how you were represented throughout the school. And some of you guys may not even have a father in your life. Some of you guys may have a single mother household, and you guys have to see your mom play both roles as a parent. She would have to work 12-hour shifts at her job, and she'd also have to cook food, make sure you were okay, and packed your school lunches, and just had to do both sides of the spectrum. That's insane. Think about that. And all you're doing to thank your parents or your parent is wasting your life. Like, at some point you have to look yourself in the mirror and just tell yourself it's time for a change. You can't think that it's okay that your parents have to work so much harder than you, and as a result you're just going to live life on easy mode. You should be making your parents' hard work and efforts actually pay off. You need to be doubling the amount of hard work they have done, because you have a situation where you have so many more resources. You didn't have the same life that they did growing up. If they grew up in a third world country, they didn't have as many job opportunities as you do now. They didn't have the internet back then. And now it's like all the information is there for you. All you have to do is implement. And if you're not implementing the things you can learn off the internet or what you're learning in school, then you're just being lazy. How can you afford to be lazy? Your parents literally put their blood, sweat, and tears into raising you, and you can't work a little extra harder? Like, think about that. How much of a man does that really make you? What does that show your future generation of kids, that their father was lazy? He had all the opportunities at his fingertips and he couldn't do anything with that? Is that really how you want your kids to see you? There's a few things that you must follow in order for your parents' sacrifice to be worth it. The first thing, take some more pride in your last name, man. Your last name, man, it literally holds the entire weight to your life. Your last name is a jersey that will never come off. Till the day you die, you will have that last name attached to you forever. And every action and decision you make not only represents you, but it represents your siblings, your parents, your cousins, your future kids. Everybody with your last name is affected by the smart things that you do and the stupid things that you do. So if you act like an idiot in public and you somehow end up in jail and your last name is now associated with a mugshot, how does that make your family look? Think about that. Your siblings are affected, your parents are affected. People that you care about are affected by your bad decisions. Your ancestors did not grind and work their ass off for you to have a mugshot attached to their family name. It's simply not acceptable. You can't be acting like an idiot and expect consequences to only affect you. As a result, it's a permanent thing. Once it happens to your name, it's stuck with that last name, and it's hard for it to go away, even with other generations coming down the line. All the actions that you should make should be bringing some sort of benefit towards the family. It should increase the family value. When you think of some of the most prestigious families in this world, it's simply because of how good their name is. What beneficial actions, what resume does that family have? And when you kind of think about things in that perspective, you have more of a desire to want to do great things, want to accomplish things that have never been done before. And as a result, those accomplishments make your last name and make your family unit so much stronger, and the way society will view them will be in such a positive light. And it just helps you kind of climb the hierarchy of life, and it just will benefit not only you but the rest of your family, and that legacy can get passed on for generations and generations to come. Do not be one of those fools that does a bunch of drugs and think that that's acceptable. If your ancestors didn't have the luxury of doing drugs, why on earth do you think you should have it? Number 2, you have to get into the best shape of your life. It's a long process, so you're gonna have to buckle up. It's going to take at least 2 years if you're very adamant about getting it. You're going to start off with cleaning up your diet. I want you having only whole foods, organic fruit, pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed meats. The highest quality of the foods that you buy at the market is important. Do not take these shortcuts of buying cheaper options of the food that you want. It doesn't do you any good in the long run, because your health is such a priority. I don't know why a lot of guys don't care what they put into their body, when really it's the driving force of pretty much everything. If you're not consuming the highest quality of food, you're not gonna perform at the highest quality of level. And all these alpha males, all these high value guys, they care about their diet. They're putting in good food into their system. Think about all these athletes. Do you think all these athletes are eating processed foods, eating fast food every single day? It's not possible, and it's not sustainable for a good lifestyle. And it doesn't even taste that good. It doesn't check any of the boxes, so you're better off with just consuming the high quality food. Number 2, you have to get some sort of training in your life, some sustainable training that will work for your schedule, at least 4 to 5 times a week, maybe 3 if it's super rigorous on your body, but that's just the bare minimum. I prefer bodybuilding. I enjoy lifting weights and doing cardio. But if you're more into martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, any of those activities will prepare your body, and it will get you into tremendous shape, and it will teach you how to be more of a man. So if that's more your alley, definitely look into that. But you know that a person that's in shape gets a lot more respect than somebody that's out of shape. And as a result, respect will increase your value, and it'll make you a stronger potential ally to the other high value men in society. Number 3, you have to make more money. I know all guys are aiming to make that 10K a month and make 100K a year roughly. And I don't think that's enough. If you're trying to live in a first world country in a desirable location, you know how much state income tax affects you? So 100K is really like 75K after taxes. I don't think that's enough anymore, especially with inflation and the way that the cost of living is going up. I don't think 100K is going to cut it anymore. You should strive to at least make double that. Our new goal, guys, needs to be to make 200K a year. This milestone will push you, and it will require you to start a business, get more hours at your normal job, make a side hustle, or do extra side jobs. Whatever you have to do to make that 200K a year, it's worth it. It literally is fun for us. As guys, we live to work hard and then share our rewards with the rest of the world. If you're making 200K a year, you can afford more stuff for your family, your kids, your other loved ones, whoever. You're able to give back to the less fortunate. You're able to buy more stuff for yourself. The power of money just gives you so many more options, and as a result, it brings more joy to your life based off the things you can do with it. There's a substantial difference between making 100K and 200K. So that's why the increase in money will bring that much better to your life. Yes, you're going to have to work more hours, but it is what it is. What is a man that doesn't work hard, right? And even that money, even if you can't spend it, or if you don't have that desire to spend it, just save it for your future kids, because you never know what's going to happen with them. God forbid there's ever like a tragedy in your house, or someone in your family loses their job. Having that extra amount of cash will not only help them at the current situation, but if they need money to start their own business or to get their own hustle going, you're able to provide that to them, and they don't feel obligated to take a loan out and have to pay interest over the years. It's just a good situation to be in, and there's just too many benefits to not try to make more money. And the thing about making money is it's basically like a video game that has no end level. So you can continue to play the game and continue to beat levels without feeling like you've beat the game already. You know those video games we played growing up that only had like 10 levels, and then once you hit the 10 level, you beat the game and then you can't play anymore? The beauty about making money is there's no limit on how much you can make. You can make $1 million a year, you can make $5 million a year, you make $20 million a year. There's no end to this. So every year you can, just try to make more than you've had for the last. Once you get to 200K a year, you shouldn't stop. Get to 205, get to 220, get to 250, get to 300. The levels never end, so you can keep climbing and never fear that you're going to cap out. And by all means, man, don't. And there's also the stigma of making too much money is bad, it's greedy, but I don't see it as that, and neither should you. You have no reason to be shy about making money. You should never feel any shame about making money. Money gives you the opportunities and options in life that without it you would not have had. Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you not try to make as much money as possible? Everything in this world costs money, and that's the reason you have to have an ample amount of it. Without that mindset, you will not achieve excessive amounts of money, and as a result, you won't be able to live the highest possible quality of life. If you're in the elite level of earners, you're able to live the elite lifestyle. Why wouldn't you want to have the best of the best in every aspect of life? To me, that's ludicrous, and if anybody says that they don't want to live that lifestyle, they A, have never have lived it, or B, they're just lazy. And if you're a lazy man, that's just not going to work for society. So by all means, enjoy working your regular 40 hours a week at your job, making 60 or 70K a year. If that's the lifestyle you truly want to live, do not let me stop you. But for those guys that want to be elite and live the highest quality of life, let's strive for 200K a year, man. By implementing these 3 things, you will be able to live the highest quality of life and never regret not achieving the elitist level of society. Once you're in this tier, you're going to feel like you're actually made it, and you're able to network and interact with people that are in the same bracket as you, and it's just the best quality of life to live. And I hope we all get there. There's enough space for all of us, and I look forward to seeing you guys at the top.